Hello everyone, I'm Marina and it's Sakramel School. I've been eager to try out a new nail alignment technique with a base coat and dual forms. And yes, that's an option. Let's test it out in today's video. Here we go. Here are today's gel nails. These are 7 weeks old. And they grew quite alright. But I still recommend you not overwear the coating to avoid painful cracks or chips. But this coating lasted well since the natural nails are hard. They do not curl much. So that's why I want to try aligning them with a base coat. Though on long nails, we'd better go with solid materials: gel, polygel, or acrylics, to prevent sagging. For a nail fill, we need to remove the old coating up to a thin layer. And we may keep it if there are no liftings. If there are some, then file them off to prevent new ones. I recommend you thin down the coating with a drill bit up to 80 to 90%, and then touch it up with a file. Don't drill it up to the natural nail, because that may damage it. The nails will get too thin, and the coating won't last long. I removed the liftings with a file and mat the cuticle zone with the flat side of a buffer. It helps to lift up the cuticle and remove some pterygium, so that it's easier to go on with the drill bit. Make sure to try out this life hack. We can also use a 180/240 grit nail file. It all depends on the nail and cuticle condition. If the cuticle is thin and sensitive, I go with a buffer. To lift it up, I'm using a red flame drill bit, 0.21 in diameter. I pay special attention to the sides and the driest parts around the nail. Now let's discuss the length. Whether we need to do an alignment every time. If we do a thin layer on such long nails, they are likely to crack in the ingross points, because the stress zone won't be strong enough. So we'd better align long nails. And for this, both a base coat or a solid material will do. But first, we do a primer for proper bonding. With camouflage materials, do a thin layer of a rubber base coat first. I'm using a rubber base coat by Man. Make sure there is no pooling, because that's a base for our coating, so that affects wearability. And today I'm going to use dual forms to align the nails. I need to make sure that they fit by putting them really close to the cuticle. We can trim them a little if they don't fit, since if the form does not follow the cuticle curve, the coating will pull. And the form should cover up both of the sides. Otherwise, there will be gaps all around the nail, which may lead to chipping. Next up, I grab a shimmery milky base coat so that you could see all the pigment on camera. You can use a clear one too, though it will be tricky to work with for beginner nail techs. Now we press the form to the nail and see how the base coat starts spreading. So if we do it right, there won't be any pulling. Then I ask my model to cure this area with a UV light. Since the index nail is curved, there is a gap between the nail and the form. So I press it well and cure it again. That's when I realized that the technique is not a piece of cake. There are tiny nuances that may result in pulling or gaps between the form and the nail. But some may actually find this technique simple. Since it doesn't take actual aligning the drop with a brush or turning the hand over, all of these steps are omitted here. But there are different nuances. We may need to add some material on the sides or remove air pockets or pulling. So even being an experienced nail tech, I struggle with those tiny issues. Now to file out the liftings, we can use a ceramic or diamond drill bit with a thin tip. So all the time that we have saved on the aligning part with the brush is wasted on filing instead. But I must admit that this method gives us a great nail architecture. And of course, I'm talking about the volume. The nails get way thinner with this technique. And that's amazing, especially for beginners who tend to use too much gel. And these nails are rather thin, yet hard enough. I did not remove the length on purpose. Doing it at this point, we can shape the nails and form a thicker tip. We can also lift up curved tips. Just make sure that the base coat is cured, since if it's a well-pigmented one, it may stay damp on the inside if you don't cure it well. Besides, we don't waste too much product here, because we don't need to grab a big drop and align it with a brush. I touch up the liftings I missed with a diamond drill bit, because otherwise these will cause liftings after a couple of days. Doing this manicure, I'm thinking that a pro nail tech would rather go for a regular nail alignment with a base coat or gel, and then just file it out to get this fine architecture. So the point is that I can't say for sure who will enjoy this technique more. Beginner nail techs should be really careful about pulling. And it's so easy to miss some here. And pro nail techs will do a regular alignment way faster. So I'm not sure. Please share in the comments if you tried this method. And let me know if you think it will work out or not. In the meantime, I'm filing out all the excess at the tips. So it's great that the nails are not convex on the outside. But since I used a camouflage base coat, it kinda gathered in the center, while the sides are sheer. So I decided to cover up the nails with another layer of the base coat to even out the coating on the sides. That also takes some time, but we can use a colored gel polish. For the nail art, I'm going to use this liquid mica by Man. I will just paint random lines with it. This nail art looks festive yet put together, and it's a nice touch to the main gel polish. Make sure to keep the lines thin so that they do not pop out. I recommend you go for pigmented shades or glitter. Now let's top it off with some sliders. I decided to add a few more tiny details and painted cute stars with a white paint. Now I cover up the nails with a medium layer of a non-tacky top coat, and let's check out the final look. So what do you think? Is it a great technique or just a waste of time? There are more videos on nail alignment on my channel, so make sure to check them all out too. And I wish you all success in your work. Good luck. Bye bye.